This is a clip from Basketball at the Bar Live.
The Milwaukee Bucks lose to the Boston Celtics in 7 games. Their second best player, Chris Middleton, has been injured pretty much the entire postseason. He's making $37.9 million next season, and he's got a player option for $40 million the season after that. Let's jump here into the numbers with the Milwaukee Bucks and try and figure out what they can do to improve and get back to the NBA Finals and win another championship. So I mentioned Chris Middleton is under contract for 2 more seasons. Giannis is under contract for 4 more seasons, 42.4, 45.6, 48.7, and a huge player option in 2025, 2026 of $51.9 million. Jrue Holiday's under contract for 3 more seasons, 32.3, 34.6, and a player option at 36.9. Brook Lopez is entering in the final year of his deal. It is an expiring $13.9 million contract. Serge Ibaka is officially off the books, as well as Wesley Matthews. We have Pat Connaughton returning if he chooses to, player option for $5.7 million. Bobby Portis, $4.5 million player option. Grayson Allen is under contract for 2 more seasons, one at 9.6 and one at 10.3. George Hill is under contract for 1 more year at $4 million. Calvin, this is a ton of money between their top 4 players in Giannis, Middleton, Holiday, and Lopez. I'm not a mathematician here, but this is looking like towards $130 million for those 4 guys next season. That is over the salary cap. That doesn't allow you a lot of flexibility or a lot of room. What does this team need to do? What are the biggest question marks regarding this squad? And what can we expect from them this offseason and next season?
Well, I think Phoenix here in the chat hit the nail on the head with this team. Most teams that we see as championship contenders are kind of in the same boat every offseason, right? Like you have your top 3 or 4 guys locked up. A lot of times you're committing a lot of money to them. So the question is, how do you fill out the rest of the roster? You know, with these veteran guys that have been around, like a PJ Tucker, good 3-point shooters, 2-way players, guys that you can get on the mid-level exception or veteran minimum deals. That's how these teams are built. Their issues going into this offseason, number one, they got to get healthy, right, like everybody does. They need Middleton back. But like Phoenix said in the chat here, Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton both have player options for next season. Mm-hmm. Bobby Portis was huge for them this year.
He's getting paid.
Career highs in points and rebounds. Career high in minutes played this season. He started 59 games for them when Brook Lopez was out with back surgery. He's probably going to get like 13 or 14 million a year in the offseason.
Yeah.
I don't think Milwaukee has the cap flexibility to pay him that. So I definitely see him opting out. Connaughton is a question mark for me. I think he's a valuable player and probably is valued by a lot of teams in this league, but I don't know if opting out for him earns him as much more money as Bobby Portis is going to get when he opts out.
Yeah.
And the question for Pat Connaughton is, does he want to go somewhere else, or does he want to? Is he looking for a bigger role, like maybe a DiVincenzo was or something like that, or does he want to come back and keep playing for this team and have another chance to win? So he's a question mark to me as to whether he opts out or not, but that's going to determine how they fill out the rest of this roster, whether or not they can get some of these guys back, and who do they look for to replace them.
Yeah, for me, the biggest offseason need for this team is get healthy and add shooters. I think we saw that in the playoffs this year. Giannis needs shooters around him. A guy like that can get to the basket so easily, that's, you know, as amazing of a player as he is, he needs help, right? And how you help out a great player like that is getting shooters. It just takes the pressure off of him. It opens up the lane for him to get to the basket. And it just makes it so that he doesn't have to work as hard for every single bucket that he gets. And then he has more energy towards the end of the game. So for me, you know, number one goal, Chris Middleton needs to come back. He needs to be healthy. I like Jrue Holiday. I like Brook Lopez. I think Bobby Portis, like you said, opts out and gets paid somewhere else. I'm mixed on Pat Connaughton. But this team just needs to figure out a way to add some more shooters. And, they kind of screwed themselves in getting rid of Dante DiVincenzo, in my opinion, because there's not a lot of young up-and-coming guys that this squad really has to help push them. Like everyone talks about, you need veterans, you need older players to win in the NBA. Look at the Lakers this season. They had a bunch of veterans, a bunch of older players, and they just didn't have that spark that youth gives them. We saw that with the Memphis Grizzlies this season, right? It's almost like they're too young to know that they're not this good or they're not good enough. It gives you like just an unlimited amount of confidence. That, I think, is what this team is missing. So I think they need to find a way to bring some more youth to this roster. They need to add shooters, and they just need to get healthy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. A couple of good questions in the chat here. Do you want to maybe look up what Milwaukee's draft capital is like for the offseason? I think they have...
I think it's a late pick.
Their pick this year, their first-round pick.
Yeah, pick 24.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good question about Brook Lopez. He is getting older, and he carries a bit of a price tag, but I think he's very valuable for that team. He's still maybe not the rim protector that he was a few years ago, but he still is able to help in that regard. Great outside shooter, spaces the floor really well. I think he plays with Giannis very, very well. So I'd probably give it one more year with him, Yeah,
and I would try and bring back Bobby Portis if there is a way. Progressive G saying Carmichael Dave said he wants the Kings to go after Bobby Portis.
There's going to be a lot of interest for him around the league.
And there's
a lot of interest.
A lot of players the Kings want to go after because when you're not making the playoffs, you got to add talent. Bobby Portis is one of those guys that he played incredibly well. He's going to get a good deal, but it's like, is that play sustainable? Have we seen a new Bobby Portis?
Thank you so much for watching. As always, please don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. You can join us live every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, don't forget to tip your bartender.